Lebanon, where Israeli airstrikes have hit the capital, Beirut. The strikes targeted a building in Dahiyeh, a densely populated southern suburb. The Israeli army claims it hit an underground weapons depot. Earlier, Israeli forces threatened the residents of one specific building in the area, telling them to leave their homes or face bombing. The Lebanese Health Ministry reports at least 40 people have been killed in Israeli strikes across the country. We have our teams covering all the developments for us. Imran Khan is in Hasbaiyya in southern Lebanon. But first, let's go to Dorsa Jabbari. She's joining us from the capital, Beirut. So, Dorsa, forced displacement orders in the early hours of the morning when people are sleeping, with the bombing taking place just around 30 minutes later.
Yes, this was a attack that was carried out by the Israeli military on what they say were weapons depots underneath residential buildings in the Haret Horek neighborhood in Dahiyeh. This is the first attack that we've seen in the southern suburb of Beirut in a week. There was a relative lull in the airstrikes since last week. But of course, we had that multiple airstrikes in the center of the capital last Thursday night. But the southern suburbs have been spared for a week, and that calm is now ended. Multiple airstrikes, at least 3 have been reported, carried out on a residential building. And of course, many civilians have already fled the southern suburbs of Beirut. It was once home to about 700,000 people, but it is now very much empty. Nonetheless, this airstrike carried out in the early hours of the morning, we still don't have any official figures from the Lebanese Health Ministry, but it highlights how intense the Israeli bombardments are across Lebanon, and again, the southern suburb of the capital being the target.
Being the target, Dorsa, Israel bombing Dahiyeh just hours after the Lebanese Prime Minister, or, within 24 hours after the Lebanese Prime Minister saying that he had assurances from the US administration that Israel wouldn't attack the capital.
That's right. The caretaker Prime Minister, Najib Mikati, spoke to Al Jazeera on Tuesday, saying that they have had assurances from the Biden administration that the capital and its suburbs would be spared from Israeli attacks, at least for the time being. And clearly, the words from the Prime Minister were not accurate in terms of the assurances that he's received. The Israeli military carrying out again strikes in southern Beirut. The Prime Minister reiterated that a ceasefire is absolutely essential. He said that his government is going to go to the Security Council of the UN to request an immediate ceasefire and a return to UN Resolution 1701, which means a halt to the fighting between Israel and Hezbollah. And he wasn't the only one that's been calling for a ceasefire. We heard from the Deputy Secretary General of Hezbollah, Naim Qassem, who in a pre-recorded message on Tuesday reiterated that a ceasefire is needed immediately. And if there isn't a stop to the hostilities, that Hezbollah is ready to continue and reach further into Israel, meaning that more Israelis will be forced to leave their homes and there will be further displacement in northern Israel as a result of the continuous fighting between Hezbollah and Israel.
Dorsa, thank you very much for that. That is Dorsa Jabbari with all the latest live in Beirut. Let's cross over to Imran Khan. He's live for us in Hasbaiyya in southern Lebanon. Firstly, Imran, what are you hearing about the fighting on the border? I've seen there have been more airstrikes not far from you this morning.
Well, even as I'm speaking to you, there's a drone up in the air, and there's that almost near constant artillery thud coming into places like Khayam, Kafr Hammam, Kafr Gila, and places like that. Places that have been real choke points for the Hezbollah and entry points really for Israeli forces on the ground. That's been happening now for 36 hours. The amount of incoming has increased exponentially. I mean, since September 29th, the last 36 hours has been very, very intense. And September 29th is when Israel announced their limited ground invasion. Some 340 targets, Israel says, it's hit in the last 36 hours. However, Hezbollah is still fighting back. There is fighting on the ground. Israel says that it has come into about a kilometre into southern Lebanese territory, where it's taken out a lot of Hezbollah positions on those frontline villages. But Hezbollah is still fighting back.
They're also continuing to send rockets, aren't they, Imran? Both Hezbollah and the Israeli military saying that Hezbollah has fired dozens of rockets into northern Israel overnight, the early hours of Wednesday.
That's right. We heard a barrage of those rockets about 5 a.m. That's a fairly regular thing. Now, the Israeli strategy seems to me to be concentrated, like I say, within about a kilometre of the Lebanese border on the ground. But in the air, it's all across Lebanon. But those rockets that Hezbollah is firing are still medium to short-range rockets. Hezbollah says that it hasn't pulled out their long-range missiles yet, although Naim Qassem did suggest in his pre-recorded speech that that technology was still available to Hezbollah and they haven't used it yet.
Imran, thank you very much for that. Imran Khan joining us live from Hasbaiyya in southern Lebanon.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.